Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
What's new, gentlemen?
Oh, well, the absolutely gorgeous weather outside is helping from what was a very troubling and disturbing morning that I had going.
Oh no, Mike, what happened?
Oh man, I did one of those where I couldn't sleep late. Like I was kind of up late watching some things. I was on my couch bed. And
yeah, have you been to your regular beds? Well, you had your sickness, and your mom made you go into the bedroom and stay there,
Yes.
or go to the hospital. So you must have been in your bedroom that week.
I was in my bedroom that week. So I spent about 7 days in the last 4 months
Okay.
in my bed.
Now you're back on the couch bed.
Now I'm back on my couch bed, yeah. And so I started watching last night for some reason. You ever watch Mark Levin? You know Mark Levin, the ultra-conservative talk show host guy. It's pretty good. Can be kind of boring at times and slow. But
I listen to him a lot.
do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I'm driving home and late
when
at
we
night.
did the night show, you used to listen to him a lot, driving
Yeah.
home, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he like very academic, like very constitutional
Yes.
based? Yeah.
Very much. And I think he's a lawyer, and I think he worked for some federal judge at some point, as a clerk, and so he's got the background. But yeah, he was taking on the investigation, the Russia collusion bullshit last night. He had a couple good guests on that I like too, that are well schooled in that stuff, and so anyway, I fell asleep with that on, and then I wake up at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I can't get back to sleep, and the TV's still on, and it's that fucking Fox and Friends morning show is on, and it is just troubling. The level of dorkdom that is
Oh my
on that
God.
show is criminal.
Doesn't SNL just lampoon them like crazy?
They did. I know Bobby Moynihan used to play the Brian guy as just a moron, but they probably still do. I don't know, but they definitely used to. But that fucking Ducey guy, was Steve Ducey? He's the tall...
Yeah, the guy on the left.
The guy on the left,
Yeah.
whose kid, what do you know, is working for the channel now,
That's
too.
right, yeah.
He's an on-field reporter. And I want to hate him really bad, but he's actually not terrible.
His son.
Yeah, except that he looks just like his dad, which sucks, too. But there is the weather girl on there. Her name's Jeannie, I think. And
Jesus, isn't that who you got behind
gonna
when you
say,
yelled Bill Clinton
probably.
is a rapist?
maybe.
Probably.
It was Fox and Friends, right?
It was Fox and
the
Friends
weather
was a
girl.
show, for sure.
Go
on
to
the patio, on the weather patio, there was Jesus.
And this woman,
Bill Clinton is a rapist.
this woman is
Never
my,
got paid, did you, Jesus?
No, that's bullshit.
she's my new Shut Up Robin. Like I had Shut Up Robin for so long with Good Morning America, where just seeing her face and I would go, ah, it would fucking hurt. You know,
Yeah.
because I hated Robin, I almost said Quivers. Robin
Givens.
No, that was
Robin-
Tyson.
Robin,
Black, Lesbo,
yeah,
ex-basketball player, ESPN. That one.
This is her, right? I think. I don't watch it that
No.
often, but
It's
that's okay.
No. It's she's a blonde
Okay.
mom, and she's a dork. And the problem is, I can't watch television if every 3 seconds I'm screaming, "Dork! You're a dork!" Which I'm doing, and it's like I'm not getting anything out of this broadcast. I'm not retaining anything because I'm constantly going, "Dork!" She's one of these classic like hams on TV. Oh, guys, ta-da!
She one of these
Jazzy
ones
hands.
who's like actually causing the weather. She's like taking ownership of the weather.
She can't not be clowning or something, or every time she's on, it's just the greatest place to be with jazz hands and you know what I would say? Happy birthday, Brian! And I just want to murder her.
Man, you got to stop watching cable news, dude.
Like I said, I woke up, it was on, and then I'm trying to get back to bed, and just shut the TV off, idiot. Shut the TV off. They literally, for an hour and a half, I listened to them cover 3 stories over and over and over and over, and I'm like, is there nothing else going on in the world? You're just covering the same shit over and over and over.
Your remote broke, man? That's the real travesty
Just
here,
trying to
right?
go
That's
to
what you're getting to?
I just want to go to sleep.
Mike's remote broke.
You
Yeah, I
can
just
do
wanna go
this
sleep.
for everything. I record because on Sundays when we get home,
That's
I
right.
record The Simpsons and the shows on Fox. So on Monday morning, every morning, it's always on Fox. And every morning, Monday morning for the last like month, I wake up and the fucking 9 is on,
Ugh.
and it is
Sorry to hear that.
fucking bad. The other day they were doing a thing because it was
What is
national.
the 9? That's that local
Fox
one?
2.
All right.
It's
Both.
with Dina Senefani and who's the black dude
Yeah,
that has
him.
to paint his face on because he's
Sometime-
got the vitiligo or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
And he's on there
Lee.
sometimes. Sometimes the weather
Lee,
guy, the
yeah.
good-looking weather dude, quote unquote, is on there.
Oh,
Like
don't get me started, E.
they were doing.
Don't
one
get me
the
started.
other day.
The guy that cannot wait to get his shirt off on TV. Yeah. What? Dude, he's a workout guy, one of those.
Oh, my
And he's
God.
got the fucking blonde hair flowing. And, you know, they love doing cooking segments and they love doing new workout segments where they get some, like, 6-inch stair step and then they go up and down,
Yeah,
5
right.
times.
Right.
You know, they do some lame, dumb workout that's doing nothing for anybody. But he's got to be in a tank top or. And it's like, dude, put your fucking clothes on, asswipe.
They were doing
He's
one.
so proud of his body and ugh.
They were doing one the other day where it was National Honesty Day. I find myself watching only because I sit there for a second and it's so dumb. It was like, well, 27% of Americans admit that they lie only once a year. For one, bullshit. But
Yeah, that's a huge lie.
Right. But then they just sat there for, oh my God, maybe 10 minutes discussing with each other about whether people lie that often or whether white lies count or not.
Yeah, there's something like all of them in that room are very, very nice people. You know what I mean? Like Lee Thomas is a very, very nice guy. Dina obviously is great. But there's something about the chemistry in that room. Amy is great, very nice. There's something about chemistry in a room, and you know it when you see it, when it's like something ends and someone's like, well, so, anywho, coming out, and you're just like if the chemistry was like that in this room, it'd be like,
Anywho.
oh God damn it, I don't even want to be in
You
the
know what you're
room with
doing
these
right now,
people.
Mike? You're putting huge pressure on how we segue out of this.
Yeah.
Huge pressure. I mean, we're going to be judged.
You want to
for
see
how
me
we
do it?
this.
You want to see me do it? All right.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, here's how you properly seg into a new topic. Anywho, well, that was an interesting take. Thanks for that, Jay.
Pick up
Anywho,
your Fox 2 morning mug. of
there's a
delicious
jingle
coffee.
playing underneath me. Like, delicious coffee this morning. No, I watched another thing last night. Are you guys familiar with the Reels channel? It's a
Yeah.
rhetorical to you, Jay.
REEL.
Yeah,
I know of
Z.
it.
No. If you would have said S, I would have said, yeah, maybe I've heard of it, but no. The
It's
Z.
it's one of these that kind of took over where somewhere where like Court TV and E Entertainment used to do. You know, they do these documentaries about Scott Peterson. And they break down the case for an hour, and you'd get these wild stories, kind of things. And so they're doing that, and they had one that premiered over the weekend on Aaron Hernandez. Murder Made Me Famous.
Yeah, man, I meant to watch that. That came out a couple months ago.
Did it? I thought it premiered over the weekend. No, was it earlier?
okay.
They probably got 4 of them that they've done, but whatever. I watched that. It was pretty good. But then after it, they're promoting there was a Charlie Sheen one, Charlie Sheen, and so
Tiger blood, man.
Tiger Blood. Watched some of that, but then they were like the shocking truth about Saw. Remember the movie Saw with Jigsaw?
Yeah.
Did you watch those movies? Like
Dude,
those
I have
movies?
zero interest in exacerbating that emotion.
Yeah.
That fearful thing. I don't get it. I don't get why people want that. Go! Oh my God!
Oh, dude.
Fright? No, thank you.
It's based on a real guy. Did you know that? Like, you probably did.
No, I don't watch horror movies. But that's interesting to me that it was based on a real person. I just assumed it was
in
made
like
up
the
Hollywood.
1890s.
Oh
And
shit!
being a mass murderer in the 1890s is the shit, dude. Because you kill someone in Philly and cops are looking at you. You just go to Chicago and
Yeah.
they don't have the internet. They can't.
Those
find
were the
you.
days, man. Those
It's
were the
murderer's
days.
heaven. Murderer's heaven. But this son of a bitch, he's the guy that would have like, he would build like the Venus flytrap head thing, where it was like, he'd put this head clamp on someone, and then a timer would go off, and boom, it would just squash their head like a melon.
Oh.
He had another one like a reverse bear trap, and this, it's in the movie too. It's like this cage of spikes helmet on a guy, and it's just like tick, 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 a timer in the back
opens.
of it, and then
And
it
it pulls
opens
it
and just
apart.
rips her head apart.
Ah.
Yeah. That's who we're dealing with. Well, the guy's name actually was H.H. Holmes. and he kept a diary. This dude was a medical student at U of M in 1882, University of Michigan. And turns out this son of a bitch absolutely loves dissecting cadavers. Like, that's his gig. He loves it. He's getting more and more into it. He's after hours, he's just cutting up bodies and like, wow, I wonder what happens if you remove this or twist this really hard.
Right.
And he's just fucking with these things. Well, cadavers are kind of new at the time. They're hard to come by. And so to help him pay for it, yeah, and he's got a massive stash that rules.
Is it an aim issue? Why are they so hard to come by? I mean, some sort of deflector shield?
I don't know. The medical industry back in the 1890s was really more of an experimentation than it was like really helping people. You know what I mean? It was just like, well, let's try this. You know, let's see what happens if you just rip the leg off and see if that gets better.
That's that son of a bitch, huh?
Yeah, there he is. And so he's trying to help pay for his own medical school because it's expensive to go to U of M. And so he's like, I guess I could just start digging up graves and grab bodies. And so he starts digging up graves, pulling bodies out and dragging them like, hey, I got another body. And they're like, ah, that's great. Thanks. I get a lot more too.
Oh, man.
And then he starts taking out insurance policies on the dead bodies and then pulling the bodies out of the ground, fucking them all up with dissection and going, yeah, this guy was murdered really bad. I need to collect my check now. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. He's dead. Yep, you're the beneficiary. And he's collected checks on people. Unbelievable.
There's an article. This article describes that. He says that basically that the world's first or biggest serial killer was out for greed.
Yeah, they usually say it's about
passion, right?
Passion or money or this. You don't usually get a serial killer that kills kids, women, men.
Just to collect the life insurance.
This guy didn't give a shit, man. He would murder anything. He murdered kids and all types of stuff. So anyway, he marries this chick, and he's like, this younger girl. He takes out an insurance policy on himself, right? He's going to fake his own death so his wife can collect the money. So he calls an old medical school friend of his, and he's like, yeah, faking my own death, that's kind of hard. Maybe if I just find someone with a body type like mine. So he's like, yeah, what about Bill, who used to go to med school with me? Hey, Bill, come on over, let's have a drink. Poisons his drink. Bill goes down, takes Bill's clothes off, and puts his own clothes on him and his ID in his wallet, right?
Cuts off his head.
And the cops are like, well, that's got to be him. It's got his ID in there. You know, we don't know how to do DNA. So, well, good enough. Here's your check for $40,000 to the wife. He takes
left his head on?
Yeah, he left his head on for that one. Yeah. Takes the $40,000 and he goes to Chicago. He needs to get out of town, so people are sniffing around, nosy assholes when people go missing. Some people start sniffing around. He goes and he fucking buys a building, a giant building in Chicago, a hotel. And he has construction personally build a murder castle for him. Like he's a part of every detail of this. It's a dungeon he's personally designed. 3-story slaughterhouse. And nobody knows what they're building. It's just like, yeah, we're working on this room now. This place, it's got a 5-door room in one. There's a waiting room, a dummy elevator, a body incinerator, a hanging chamber.
My God, man.
Trapdoor, blind room, bricked-in room, secret room, asphyxiation room, airtight gas chamber, stairways leading to nowhere, room that would light on fire and just torch you. Like the room, 100 windowless rooms, completely soundproof. And people would come in as guests, and he'd be like, yep, welcome to the hotel. And then it was like, you'd never see them again.
Wow.
And it was just for fun. So he needs...
There's the rooms going to nowhere, by the way. This is apparently it.
How frustrating would that be? A staircase to nowhere. Oh, God damn it. So it's just this maze of horror. He needs more money, though. He keeps needing more money. So he's like, I'm going to take on a partner. This guy's really rich. And so he's like, gets him down. He's like, yeah, you'll be my partner. And gets down to the basement, takes this guy down to the basement, just like shoves him in a room, closes the door, and then puts on a gas mask on himself. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, write me a check and I'll let you leave. And the guy's like, yeah, no problem. Writes him a check. He's like, flips on the gas. This guy just fucking gets gassed, goes down. He's not dead yet. Turns off the gas, opens the door and goes in there. And he's like, let me get you to your feet, pal. Good partner of mine. And then opens this. He's built a fucking personal human incinerator and like stuff. Think Hansel and Gretel in the oven, right? Sticks this dude in there. There's a little submarine window. He can watch these people slowly melt to death. He's writing in his personal diary that even the bones don't survive. Dude, he's not a good guy.
Diabolical, man.
Absolutely not a good guy. What are some of the other things? Yeah, he's really into the collecting, the insurance, blah blah blah.
It's really before his time, man. It's
Yeah.
some creative shit.
Yeah, the cops start to question finally,
How many years in?
Well, he's right across from the Chicago State Fairgrounds, this hotel, which is bustling with people. And then there's this weird hotel where dozens and dozens of people have never been seen again. The cops are like, we should probably go knock on the door, see what's going on over there. People are missing. And so he lets them in, and he's calm as shit, lets them look around. They find body parts in boxes, and he talks his way out of it. He's like, yeah, I'm a doctor, this is for research and blah, blah, blah. They're like, all right, cool, sweet. Take
Sounds
care.
good.
And like a month later, the cops return. He torches the place and leaves. That's when they find the remains of everything. He finally gets caught in like 1894 in Boston. They say he probably killed over 200 people.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He's convicted of murder, sentenced to death by hanging, and his only request is, yeah, when you bury me, can you do it in concrete so no one can dig me up and dissect me?
In case there's another guy like me out there.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Damn, man.
Dude,
How come I've never heard of this guy?
I don't know, man. H.H. Holmes is his name. He had another name, but when he faked one of his deaths, he had to ditch that name.
Sure.
But H.H. Holmes is how he's known, and it's unbelievable to me to think about the human being that can just like he marries this girl and takes her sister the first chance he gets alone with her down in the basement. She's gassed a little bit till she passes out. When she comes to, she's tied to
Not a selfish lover.
No, he's not. But she's tied to a fucking dissection table, right? Roped up, and he's like, wonder what happens when you pour acid on the human leg.
Wow, man.
And it's like, whoosh, and she's just burning away, her legs getting eaten. And he's like, hold on, let me cut you loose, And they're just wounded animals, and it's like, well, here we go into the incinerator. And they just sit and watch someone melt slowly. Oh, it's like, how does...
You've heard of Nazi doctors doing that shit,
Yeah.
real extreme experimental shit. But,
Yeah.
man, I've never heard of this guy. That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? I hadn't either, but it was like...
So how close are these movies, these Saw movies, to that? Are they just loosely based on the idea? Or
Well, it sounds like... Because Saw was had this, like, hotel where it was just a murder dungeon that you couldn't get out. He was always 10 steps ahead of you.
Okay.
And always thinking of more creative ways to torture you to death. Give you a decision. Every answer you have has a consequence, and it always ends up with you dying, and he doesn't lose. And so it's based on H.H. Holmes, but I don't know exactly how true like that contraption is. But it sounds like a lot of them were true. They did have the writer of Saw on that documentary. He's like, yeah, I had to go to a pretty fucking dark place trying to write a scene where someone is so fucked up that they could even think you could do this to another human being. Like a Venus flytrap for your head. It's like, oh.
how many Saws are there? There's at least 2, right?
I think there's like 4 or 5.
I was going to say 6, but I know there's for sure 3. You could probably Bing that and find out.
Gentlemen, this segment is brought to you by Mayer and Company Accountants. If you dread handling your business taxes as much as you dread, I don't know, having to apply Big E's next round of anal bleach,
Or run into H.H. Holmes.
there you go. Let Kyle Mayer handle all that shit for you. Kyle's a pro. You can trust him. He doesn't just focus on end-of-year personal tax returns. In fact, a large part of his business is handling business taxes and bookkeeping. He's a pro. Trust him. Call him today, 248-521-0016. Call him with all of your business tax issues.
Sounds like they have made 8 Saw movies.
Oh, my
Can you
goodness.
believe that? I had no idea that they made that many.
I can. It makes so much money. It's almost like probably just printing money at this point. Because the people that like it. So
Yeah, but I guess if you just keep finding new ways to torture people to death.
Yeah, if people like the villain, right, in one of those, or the idea of whatever bad is behind it, you just keep it going. Like it's Friday the 13th.
I mean, look how many Fast and the Furiouses there are, dude. I swear I thought that would have been done after maybe 2, and I think that's at 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're at a point in the show, one of our favorite points in the show, I think, giving something away. Don't we just love to give things away?
I love giving stuff
We have
away.
a pair of Tiger tickets. Now, the trick is these are for this Friday. But they're great seats, and it's great parking.
Yeah.
And let's see, it's versus the Mariners, Friday 7:10. And what we did is
Go see Ken Griffey Jr.
there you go. Ichiro. You know, Ichiro just retired like yesterday.
Really, dude? I saw him like a couple weeks ago make a leaping catch over the wall.
Yeah, I saw a headline like it said
45 or something.
Actually, it said something like he's not retiring. He's just not playing right now, or something. I don't know, but
That's kind of textbook
yeah,
definition of
I
retiring.
felt like it was when I
Yeah.
read the first paragraph.
Sure.
But anyway, Mariners this Friday, we drew a member name. Membership does have its privileges, Mike.
Absolutely.
We drew David Scheel. I have sent him a communique.
He owes me a thank you. You had me randomly pick a number, which I did.
Yeah,
and it landed on David.
And I sent an electronic communique
Okay.
to Mr. Scheel and let him know that we have these. Now, he could be in Oregon for all I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's in town. And if
Hopefully, he
so,
can fly in for the game if he is.
he's
Could
up
you
in
imagine?
the Pacific Northwest.
on my way,
Huge
man.
Mariners fan. He's coming into town for the game. Isis will meet you up hopefully this week and hand these off if you're
Yeah.
local. If not, David, let us know and we'll make good on it some other way and get these to
Somebody else.
hands of someone who's local.
Somebody else. Did you see Trump this morning? They say he had really nothing on his docket. He just kind of had an open schedule, which is kind of scary when you're talking about the President of the United States having an open morning schedule. I guess they golf a lot, so that's probably – they have a lot of those. But he went on a tweet storm this morning, ragging on Mueller and the investigation and threatening people, saying that if you come after me, the 13 angry Democrats you have out to get me with his witch hunt, I know some more details about their conflicts of interest, and that will be brought into the courts and blah, blah, blah. And found it kind of interesting. He said that they're starting to find out that there is a court system in place that actually protects people from injustice. Just wait till the courts get to see your unrevealed conflicts of interest. Yeah, he also... So now the probe says the Russia witch hunt is rapidly losing credibility. House Committee, Republican side, keep that in mind when you're talking about the House Intelligence Committee report, found no collusion, coordination, or anything else with Russia.
Did Devin Nunes find that, did he?
Yeah, exactly.
What a surprise.
With all his Republican buddies. So now the probe says, okay, what else is there? How about obstruction for a made-up phony crime? There is no obstruction. It's called fighting back. Is this phony witch hunt going to go on even longer so it wrongfully impacts the midterm elections, which is what the Democrats always intended? Republicans better get tough and smart before it's too late. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know this is kind of a boring. It's not a boring story. I don't want to say it's a boring story. It's not a boring story. It's an important story, and I really wish that people could agree on what the legality is with a sitting fucking president. When you're talking about this, I've heard stuff like, yeah, it's not a crime. Collusion is not a crime with a sitting president, period.
Right.
You know,
His
it's like,
authority to do
yeah, he's got massive
quite
authority.
a lot.
Yes. You cannot indict a sitting president. You cannot jail a sitting president, period, end of story. These have been dealt with in the federal court system, and the rulings have been made back in 1973 about this stuff.
But remember, the end game doesn't necessarily have to be a conviction. It's a political issue, impeachment is.
Right.
So when you're looking to impeach 45,
Peach 45.
Peach 45.
Peach 45. Why do I have a $7 million house?
all you need to do is stack up some evidence and make it compelling enough to impeach 45.
Peach 45. Do you still feel like I do? Because I don't want to get into partisan politics too late. I know. But for 16 months, we've laughed at the idea of a Russian collusion. At least I have. The absurdity to me is just hilarious. I think there is none of that shit, and I think that's why I don't mind calling it a witch hunt. I think they're digging for shit, trying to find crimes somewhere. That judge that came out on Friday blasting, did you see that guy?
No.
Judge came out and blasted Mueller about the Manafort thing. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, we're looking at this guy's shit from 10 years ago. What you're clearly doing is putting a squeeze on Paul Manafort to get him to turn on Trump
Yes.
and blah, blah, blah. This is not
Get
how
him
the
to
system
possibly
works.
make shit up. That's the danger, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if there's something truthful that he can say that leads to a problem for Trump, okay. But what you're doing is you're giving incentive. You're squeezing this dude in a way that might get him to make something up
Yeah.
that just wasn't there, wasn't true, and then all of a sudden, that's an injustice.
Or-
I don't know what to think, man. I'm
Yeah.
really, honestly, I'm very, very tired of the issue.
Yeah.
And I haven't been tracking it. I mean, when there's some news on it, I'll be interested. Other than that, I'm not going to sit there and watch cable news every day and watch
Yeah.
both sides bloviate about their argument.
But why do they the thing that drives me nuts is you've got these talking heads that are so adamant. You know, Rudy Giuliani's not a moron, and he's like,
Well, they have agendas, man.
No,
I mean, look
know,
at what
but,
side they're on.
But truth matters, right? Like, if you're going on TV and going, hey, listen, Trump does not have to comply with a subpoena from Mueller if he doesn't want to. That is his privilege as president. And then the other guy goes, yeah, that's total bullshit. Yes, he does. And I'm going, okay, this seems like a very bingable thing. We could just bing this. What's the story? Either he does or he doesn't. So which
There's
is it?
not clear-cut laws on every legal issue, though.
There
you know?
should be.
Issues are argued by using past precedent. So you go,
Yeah.
hey, this is like this case, judge,
Yeah.
so you ought to rule for me. So there may not be a clear answer on whatever issue you're referring to, and it may just be arguable.
Yeah.
And there's probably a side that's more right than the other,
Mm-hmm.
that is stretching its argument less than the other. But it might not be open shut on either side. But both sides have an agenda, so both sides, you know, argue it on TV as if it's open shut and
Yeah.
how foolish my opponent is.
Boy, that seems like an obvious answer. Glad you said that. I should have known that.
I can't stand to listen to it anymore. It's
Yeah.
so clearly.
I can tell you
Just a
get
TV
frustrated
show.
with it, and I hate bringing it up, Jay, because I know.
Well, I don't
we
mind talking about it if there's news about it. Other than that, I just don't see the point. I don't
Mm-hmm.
see the point in being kind of another stick on the fucking pile of everybody who's talking about this
Right.
issue that really nobody knows where it is because it's secret. Mueller's doing it on his own. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, when his report comes out, then it comes out, or when Trump fires him, then that happens, and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, in my view, that's the time to talk about it. But until,
Yeah.
to me, like Rudy Giuliani giving his take
he's
on
a
it,
bad
that's not
example.
news to me. You know,
He's a bad example, but when you have like constitutional experts, you know, guys that's what they do, and I understand even those people. There's you know the right to bear arms. You can argue they have for a century about what does that be? What is a a militia against, you know, people argue and debate, even constitutional experts. So there are very much gray areas. But when I see guys that are like that talking about this stuff, and they're like, this is so fucked up. You don't even understand
Yeah.
how troubling this is. This has never been done. This is clearly, people are pissed off. They cannot believe Donald Trump is president. And this is a hunt to get this guy on anything. When you launch an investigation with special counsel without identifying a crime that you're looking for, you are searching for shit, and that's not the way the system is supposed to work. And I hear that and I go, yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. But, you know, here we stand. So,
well, Trump in large part brought this on himself for in a lot of ways.
No, I didn't.
Including
It's not true.
His ridiculous timing on the firing of Comey and the reasons he gave
Yeah.
therefor.
people are like, all he had to do was fire him day one. Day one, none of this matters. But, you know, reading Rod Rosenstein or whatever.
Guy with the
reading-
huge hands.
Oh, my God. I can't get over it, dude. They're fucking baseball mitts. It's incredible. Reading his report about why Comey should be fired is hilarious. It is fucking a laundry list of why this dude needs to be fired. And now it's like he's defending Comey and Trump's an asshole. Okay.
Well, because Trump then went on with Lester Holt after firing him, clearly saying that the Rosenstein memo was pretext for his real reasoning. He didn't want Comey to continue the investigation. Now, you can read that one of two ways, that Trump was frustrated that the guy just wouldn't clear him.
Yeah.
And that's I think, in my gut says Trump was just pissed off that the guy wouldn't publicly say, we're not investigating
That's
you,
totally
Mr.
it.
President.
Yep.
But the other side of that is you can read it as saying, you know what, I'm getting rid of Comey because he's investigating this. And I don't want him investigating this.
Of course.
And you got to be savvy enough to understand that it can be read that way, man.
Yeah. And,
And he's not, and so he brought it on himself by
And it-
doing that and giving that reasoning. It's just so foolish.
And if you remember at the time, people on his team were telling him that. Like, no, sir, you cannot fire him. This is not going to look good. Maybe
Thus the
Bannon.
Rosenstein memo.
Right. And wasn't it Bannon was like the
Bannon said this is the dumbest political move in the history of political moves.
Yeah, it's proving to be true. I don't know. Shifting gears, I was going to do Rosie O'Donnell's story. I just don't give a shit. You know, these fucking, she gave $5,000 to a campaign that's more than you're allowed to get. I'm like, whatever. Okay, throw her in jail. I don't care, pig. NFL owners. NFL owners have dropped the ball a ton over the last year. Obviously, with the kneeling thing, they didn't handle that properly. And they've really put themselves in this weird position where the owners have every right to bitch at these players. Stand up, motherfucker. I'm losing revenue, you asshole, and I pay your salary.
It's so weird because it's not in any of the other sports, though.
I know.
None of the other
Kneeling.
sports are dealing with this. Like, you don't even hear about it at all. In baseball, hockey is not shocking, maybe, but basketball, I don't hear anything about it in basketball.
Yeah, they don't.
There's been a few here and there with LeBron kind of wearing his shirt, maybe, but it's not like.
Yeah.
Dude,
And then you had that one guy that never stood when we were younger. What was his name? Some like Abdullah something or other.
Yeah, the Denver Nuggets guy.
Yeah. And then cameras caught him one day, like 4 years into his career. He'd never stood once, and all of a sudden it became a huge issue. But they have all these policy meetings in the off season. The owners get together and harumph. And
Talk about rule changes.
Yeah,
and making the game clear to the average observer.
What's
we're
a
gonna,
catch?
We're going to decide what a catch is
We're going to
today.
figure out what a catch is, and we ain't leaving this room till we figure out what a catch is. And then we're going to work on fumbles.
Your sport is doomed, Mike,
I
for
know
many
it is.
reasons.
I know. So they're considering a number of rule changes and stuff like that. And then it says the league is considering a compromise, which would make standing for the national anthem a team-by-team rule. And so just throw it in like, hey, man,
Okay.
you fucking deal with it. The owners are getting together in Atlanta to hash out some of these things. Other options are keeping players in the locker room until the anthem is sung, or making players remain standing during the anthem while on the sideline, but giving them the option to remain in the locker room. Of course, NFL owners differ wildly on this. Some of them
Right.
are pro, like, hey, man, do you? And some of them are like, fuck you, man. This is America. Stand. So I don't know. It's just I've always been troubled by this one, and I feel bad because I was so adamant that this is not collusion in the NFL. Colin Kaepernick takes a knee. If he's a solid player, he's on a roster. That's all that matters. And I think I owe people an apology. I think I'm fucking wrong, dude. I think I'm wrong. And part of that reason has nothing to do with Colin Kaepernick, but more Eric Reed.
Yeah.
He's
He's been blackballed as well. Huh?
dude, former Tennessee.
Did he just file a grievance? I think I saw he did with the union, right?
And he's got the same rep, Garagos,
Yeah.
that Colin's using. But this is a young player, and I followed his career because he was drafted from Tennessee, the Volunteers, by the 49ers. And
Good
as
player.
a safety, as a rookie, came in and made huge impact. Fast, hard hitter, good, sideline to sideline, as fast dude. I mean, just one of those guys that can come in and absolutely ball, and as a rookie, and he's only a few years into his career. And for him,
So he's done with his rookie contract, and he's looking for the next one. Nobody will take him.
yeah, I don't know exactly what the details are, but he, once Colin knelt for a while, he was just one of his teammates. In the pictures, he's number 35. And he took a knee with him a few times, stayed on the Niners roster, and then his contract's up, and he's going into free agency. Shop himself around. Nobody will touch him. Nobody.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, well, you can make an argument that Colin Kaepernick's career was not, that teams had figured out the way to play that style of quarterback, and he just wasn't going to be as effective. Fuck him. Not worth the headache. Eric Reed can ball. And I don't know, man. I don't know what they do about this. I really don't. They haven't really made good decisions. I mean, do you care if these guys kneel or any of that shit?
Yeah, it's lame. It bothers me, but I'm not a great person to ask about because I just do not
Care.
give two shits about the NFL, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, it's lame.
It's lame. I honestly, I don't have a problem with guys kneeling. I'm not one of those guys that's like, God damn it, you will stand in America for the flag. Whatever.
Kind of.
I know, and I get that sentiment and feeling, but part of what I fought and died for in this country was for your right to be an asshole, and it's a free speech issue. The problem I have with it has always been
You're an employee.
well, what's the connection with the flag? You say it has nothing to do with disrespecting America. Well, dude, you are highly disrespecting veterans. There are people that take serious offense to that. So what is it about that thing? It's like you're choosing specifically to do it in that moment. You can protest anywhere, anytime,
Yeah.
and that's your right. Why are you waiting till the country's national anthem is sung?
Because they know it's impactful.
Right.
Because they recognize that it's disrespectful.
So that it is about disrespecting the flag in a way, right? Makes a big story, a big splash. And so that's the part. It's like, all right, Colin, have you played this out? What are we trying to? Are we trying to end racism? Are we trying to end social injustice?
Yeah, I said this the whole time. I think Kaepernick just fell backwards into this thing. I don't think he at all grasped where he was going with it, the gravity of what this would become.
Yeah.
He's not a good spokesman for this. He's never, to my knowledge, come out and clearly spoken out as to what he's doing, what his plan is going forward.
Yeah.
He's just bitched about it. Loosely.
Which makes zero sense. I'm sorry if you're going to be that guy that's taken up the social justice flag for a generation, dude, you got to do a 60 Minutes interview.
Totally, man.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
You know, every news outlet was throwing themselves at the guy, and clearly he's just not comfortable articulating what he's doing, or not understanding clearly what his plan should be or is. And I'm sure, I say I'm sure. My gut is he thought he was going to make a statement, didn't realize it was going to spin out as big as it is.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck, I'm not really the guy who's most comfortable being the flag carrier for this, and I'm going to step in it if I try to talk on it, and I'm just not comfortable, so I'll stay silent and let other people talk for me.
Is it possible he's just not terribly educated on the
That's
because
my
if you're
gut,
gonna
man.
jump into that, you can sound really ignorant really fast if you don't really understand deep-rooted problems, right? So he's a guy that was raised by white people in a very like upper middle class area. You know what I mean? Like, he was basically a white dude growing up, and so now he's carrying the flag, which is fine, whatever, he can do that. But there are other things that he was doing, you know, wearing the socks to practice with pigs on them with cop hats and stuff, Che Guevara T-shirts to press conferences, and Fidel Castro T-shirts, like things that people are like, dude, go fuck yourself. Like, so I don't know. You might totally be right in this, that the guy fell ass backwards into something, and now.
Yeah, I mean,
after a year, he could figure out how
sensibility is to stick it to the man, right? I'm in a position of power where I can stick it to the man, but he didn't really think, not knowledgeable, like you say, doesn't have that basis of understanding of Che Guevara, all that, you know, Fidel Castro, where they come from, what they stand for. He's just he's just being counterculture kind of.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, the spotlight is on him.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead, man. Tell us what you think. And he's like,
no time.
Yeah.
No interviews today.
Because he has had every opportunity. I mean, he could take an hour on Sunday night, 60 Minutes, anytime he wants.
And almost the saddest part of the whole story is, like, if you followed his career, and especially the last few years, he has donated tremendous amounts of personal wealth and time to inner city communities and worked with them personally, and that shit just gets brushed away. He's never been in legal trouble. Like, there's a lot that you can say about Colin Kaepernick that should not be this divisive, but
he's never got full credit for his sweet Mr. Microphone fro.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
This is all my opinion, folks.
Of course. It is a badass fro, though. Mr. Mike. It came out of nowhere, too. I mean, he really had a shaved head for years. Then it was just like, boom, Mr. Microphone.
Pops.
Yeah.
Zot Ford's famous spring fling finally here. It was a long, cold winter, as you know, but it's time to sell lots of vehicles and get back on track. Here's a deal that even Easus can afford. It's a sign and drive lease on select new all-wheel drive 18 Ford Escapes for just $222 a month, zero cash due. Also, they dropped the price on select new 18 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4s, almost $13,000. It's over 30% off. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
When on stage doing comedy, have you ever saved someone's life?
No. Well, my
lousy
humor,
comedian.
I'd like to think, has saved many lives, but no, I have not.
You guys know Ken Jeong,
Yeah.
that dude from the Hangover
Oh,
movies.
sure, yeah.
Showed his just wisp of a dick.
Yeah.
His story is great, dude.
Yeah, he was an actual phizician, trained physician and whatnot.
But he wanted to be an actor.
Was he on Community?
Yeah, but it all came after The Hangover and him being that weirdo.
Yeah, ABC gave him his own show, Dr. Ken. I think it's canceled now, but
Yeah.
I mean, he had an ABC show that
But that was
think
after
ran
that.
for a while. Oh yeah, that was his most.
But I'm
recent
saying
thing.
though that his whole story of being like a real doctor but wanting to do acting, and
Yeah.
he didn't get his break until like his 30s.
And what was his
mid-30s.
role in The Hangover? Wasn't he like a gangster sort of guy, drug
Yeah.
dealer or something?
Yeah,
But it turns out he's just this little wisp of a Asian guy.
and that scene, I think he's in the trunk nude, and when
Yes.
the trunk pops open and he's running around, and it's just like the balls, dude, to let cameras roll.
You're a doctor.
You're a doctor. He's like, yeah, it is what it is, man. It's anatomy. Deal with it. Hilarious, though. But yeah, he was some weird, like, gangster guy in those movies, but funny as shit. And
Yeah.
so he's doing stand-up comedy at a club in Phoenix on Saturday night, and all of a sudden the audience is like, hey, he thinks he's being heckled. The lights are on him, he can't really see, and they're like, he thinks he's being heckled by the crowd, and they're like, no, there's a medical emergency. And son of a bitch jumped off the stage. Some woman's having a seizure in the third row.
Yeah.
And he and I guess there was an EMT in the house, and the two of them like helped this woman and
Stabilizer.
absolutely. I don't know if they drilled a hole into her head like Gupta would do. But
Release the demons.
sure. But yeah, isn't that funny, man?
Wow,
It's
man.
like, dude,
Yeah,
how
I guess
cool.
he's the guy you want on stage if that happens, right?
Yeah, I'm always looking for the federal agent and the doctor on a plane. Like I want to know that those two are on the plane. You know what I mean?
Just have them raise their hand at the beginning.
Yeah.
I get the federal agent and the doc. Okay, good. Know where you are.
Earmuffs, rest of the plane, please. Earmuffs, goggles, please. Thank you. Where are you? I want that federal agent. Are they on all planes, by the way?
No, I don't. I can't imagine they have the funding to do that
Yeah. When I'm on all my planes. Care if they're
with your male pilots, right?
damn straight. She's tremendous. She's unbelievable. The calm, dude.
She was honored at the White House the other day. Talking
I
about
know
the
she
Southwest
was.
Airlines pilot who brought the bird down after blowing an engine.
Hell yeah. She was a Navy pilot, though.
Yeah.
She was like, dude, I tweeted about that, and it was like, I was getting offended for her because the news coverage at the time was like when they released the 911 call, and or not 911, but her talking back to
the tower.
To the tower, and they're like, this is just tremendous how calm. Listen to how calm she remained. It's like, you didn't have to say that
She's
with
a
Sully
pro.
Sullenberger.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't go, listen to this, just how calm this gentleman is. But it's like, all right, we get it. She
Right.
remained calm. You mean she did her job and was a pro? Wow.
We should be so surprised she did that.
This is unbelievable. Just listen. It's like, listen how calm she is. It's like she's sedated from a woman. Misogynist. God, I hate misogynists.
Yeah, you do.
Ugh.
Self-loathing. It's something, isn't it?
Yeah. Huey Lewis. And the news. I don't want to negate the news.
Did he lose his hearing recently? Did I hear
Huh?
that? Did I hear that?
Yeah. He blew out something in his ear. He's got.
Power of love.
That's the.
That's from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah.
I want a new drug, right? That was this big one.
huge.
I
yes.
want a new drug.
There's the power of love.
I remember my mom like objecting to that. The power, or not the power.
I want a new
I want
drug.
a new drug. She's
Yeah.
like, this is just. I can't believe this is on the radio.
It said drug. I mean, yeah, I could see. Do a Bing on Huey Lewis and the News hits. I bet they have way more hits than we even realize.
Yeah, maybe a couple more than we realize.
Weren't we shocked? Was it Air Supply we were looking up or something? Or
I'm all out of love.
I'm so lost without you.
Air Supply. No, I think it was the Cars. Honestly, you were dissing the Cars.
No, it
back-
was one of those really lame like power
REO?
ballad bands.
REO?
It might have been REO, might have been Air Supply, and it was like, holy shit.
Hip to Be Square. That was huge. Hate
Yeah.
that song.
Yep. The heart of rock and roll. Heart of rock and roll is in Cleveland. If this is it, Bob,
Yeah.
please tell me so.
Take me back in time.
Want to go back in time.
Dude, you're right. He does have more than I thought. But I'm not going to declare him,
Yeah.
some outstanding Hall of Fame type career.
If you've got an hour road trip, you're going to Lansing this weekend, you could pop in a greatest hits CD and probably almost get there. Just on Huey and the News, right? Couldn't you?
Yeah.
And like sing along to all the tunes.
If this is it.
If this is it, please tell me so. Huey Lewis and the News was always such a weird band to me. Like he didn't look like a rock star or that he should be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he looks like
There's
somebody's
something-
uncle, That's my Uncle Huey.
Yeah. What is Huey short for, by the way?
Hubert.
Hubert. I was gonna say Heward.
I don't know. That's a good question. Huey. Hubert. Jesus.
Huey's such a dumb name.
Hugh.
Hugh.
Hugh Anthony Craig III.
It's Hewford.
Hewford.
Is it Hewford?
Maybe.
Can Huey be short for Hewford?
Hugh Monica. Lewis sings and plays harmonica for his band Huey Lewis and the
Oh, he
News.
sure
At least
does.
did.
Yeah, he can play the shit out of that mouth harp. Anyway, he spoke out. He did an interview with Jenna Bush, George's daughter, on the Today Show. I wonder how she got that gig.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Just
own
pure
merit.
talent.
Own
Talent.
merit.
It's just talent.
Cream rise to the top, Mike.
Absolutely. Billy Bush, Jenna Bush, whatever. We're sampling it. See if we like this gig. Let's go to the national top morning show in the country and just see if we dig this. If not, well, maybe we'll go make movies, you know? So anyway, 67 years old. Not her, but him. How many albums do you think, not just Huey, but the News as well, sold?
Oh shit.
Sports was a huge album
Oh
for them.
yeah.
Remember
Sports? Absolutely. That was huge in like 1984, 85, right?
Probably.
If Bon Jovi was our example of 130 million that we
Yes.
talked about yesterday, I don't know. I'm gonna go like 40 million.
Dude, I just don't believe this number. I think Power of Love would be enough to push from the soundtrack. I don't know how much credit they get for that. They say 15 million albums sold, which is nothing to piss on. 15 million, you know, that's great. But I would have thought back then, you know, if you wanted music, you bought music. You didn't steal music. You didn't
Correct.
pirate it. So
Correct. They must not be getting credit for those Back to the Future
yeah, soundtrack
soundtracks
things.
because I think, dude, you take those away, and those are 2 or 3 of his biggest hits, right?
But Sports had all those other. There was like 5 like top 10 singles I think on that Sports album. So anyway, he's given an interview finally talking about the hearing and stuff. And so he was playing at a show in Dallas, and he all of a sudden he gets this weird sensation in his ears. He said it sounds like there's a fighter jet in his left ear, and then just poof, white noise. Imagine how terrifying that would be. Ugh. So they do scores of tests. They determine he has Meniere's disease.
Meniere's.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah. Meniere's. Not a fun one to have, especially if you're a singer. It's a rare, incurable inner ear condition. No known treatment. Although, and we're going back to like 1800s medicine. They were like, I think diet might help. You know, take out some sugars and some salts, and let's see what happens. You know, you don't want to hear that when they're just telling you to, you know, do like a juice smoothie to cure your cancer.
Right.
Tough one. So they're like, cut out caffeine. That might help. Some other people have had this as well. I think this, I don't know exactly, but this might be what AC/DC singer has.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Remember, because Axl was singing
Yes.
this last tour? But his was totally about hearing, too. And for a singer, if you can't hear, you can't stay in tone. The key can be off.
Well, I mean, listen to Rush Limbaugh presently. He sounds completely different than he did 20 years ago because
Yeah.
he can't hear himself.
I know.
He's way higher pitched.
Yeah, I think he's got the teleprompter there, and where you really hear it with Rush is when people sarcastically say something and he doesn't pick up on the sarcasm because he can't hear
Right.
the voice tweaks. It's kind of like you know,
He's just reading it.
he's just reading it. So, so he says, yeah, they say they tell him a positive attitude is important too. So if you're going deaf with Meniere's, just stay positive.
Positive vibes, Mike.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Jesus, why don't we send him some positive vibes? Take a picture of your bumper, man, and tweet it on over to young Huford.
might help.
Great point.
You know, to know that there's a Huey Lewis in the News bumper sticker out there today.
Present day 2018 in
On Mr.
Detroit.
and Mrs. Fady's Impala,
Yeah.
you know, driving around the D. Might bring him,
good point.
bring him some cheer.
Dude, by the way, I mean, I know it's just Wikipedia, so Wikipedia is not always right, but they have them as selling over 30 million albums.
Yeah, that
See,
wouldn't
I thought,
surprise me.
that's why I said 40.
Yeah.
You know, thought
They
it
said he's
limped up
been
close to
playing
40.
for 40 years, selling 15 million
Well,
albums.
according to this,
I believe-
Sports alone, it was 7 times platinum. So
Yeah.
I mean,
What's platinum?
million. So it didn't go diamond, pussy.
DIAMOND.
Yeah, diamond is 10 million. Gold is 500,000. Platinum is 1 million.
Gotcha.
7 times platinum. That sounds about right for that album. It was huge in the mid 80s. So he's still hoping he can get better. Even though I can hear you, we can talk. I can talk on the phone. I can't sing. I can't hear music. I can do everything but what I love to do the most.
Oh, it's his lifeblood. Poor Huford.
I know. It's awful. You guys know Ryan Adams?
Ryan Adams.
Singer Ryan Adams?
Sorry, I don't.
I wanted to say summer of '69, but I think that's not
It's like
the
a
right-
knife.
And it feels so right.
Na, na,
Jimmy
na,
quit,
na,
and Joey got
na,
married.
na,
Should have known we'd never get far. As I look back now,
Not Brian
summer
Adams,
seemed to
Mike.
last
Yeah,
forever.
that's what it was.
Those were the best days of my life. Back in the summer doing the '69. Remember that one, E?
Yeah.
I was always partial to Cuts Like a Knife. I thought that was always Bryan Adams' best before he
Really?
went total love ballad on us.
No, dude.
He went
the one
Robin
from Robin Hood.
That was fucking enormous.
That Robin Hood song is still putting grandkids through college.
Yes.
It was huge.
God.
I can't remember what it was, but
I know,
another
it's
ballady
been a
bullshit.
Bing machine in front of us.
Yeah. But Ryan Adams apparently has Meniere's disease as well, and he's doing all right. Kristen Chenoweth, I didn't even know that little wisp of a...
I didn't even know a person
Chick.
named that existed.
Yes. She's kind of an annoying, squeaky voice, but I didn't know she was a singer. It's a syndrome based on symptoms. Ooh. It affects people differently. All they can come up with the treatment is diet, no caffeine, low salt. Keep your fingers crossed. So, I don't know. He hopes he can get back.
Everything I do it for you.
And then Huford, look, this is not your fault. The guilt that Huford is feeling about this is not
don't
fair
beat
to
yourself
him.
up, Huford. Come on, man.
He is. I mean, listen to this comment. You tell me where his head is. I feel horrible about this. I wish to sincerely apologize to all the fans who've already bought tickets and were planning to come see us and just let everybody down.
All 300 of them. No, he's probably doing like DTE type
Oh,
places,
yeah. I
right?
thought he was the one. Wasn't he the one who regularly opened? Who was the guy?
No,
who
no,
normally-
no. That's Eddie Money.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
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 Hell yeah.
But I think he probably would.
Yeah,
go for
Huford in the news would definitely. They do well at like Pine Knob.
They do well at Pine Knob if they had Def Leppard and Journey with them. You know what I mean? Like one
They
of
were
those.
doing Comerica, man.
Who?
Def Leppard and Journey.
Yeah, but that's. I think Huey Lewis. Okay, Huey Lewis and the News and the Cars could do well at Pine Knob. Neither of those is selling 17,000 tickets, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Huey is more of a Meadowbrook guy, right?
There you go. Yeah. Meadowbrook would be a good place. Speaking of musicians, Bob Dylan.
What do we got?
He's got a whiskey coming out. Whiskey.
Why not, right?
Dude.
What?
Yeah.
The dude can't even like. He can't even sing to me. Like you go
Oh,
on.
Jesus.
He's a
Jesus.
poet, E.
He
For Christ's
was.
sakes. He's a poet.
You know what? I'd rather have him
Someone's
fucking.
got
I'd
it
rather
in
have
for me.
me get to see him and have him actually play a song or two that I know versus coming out with a fucking whiskey.
E, these are not your life choices. These are Robert Dylan's.
Okay,
Excuse
sorry.
me, Bob Zimmerman. Goes by Dylan now.
Oh,
But
he's Zimmerman, really?
yeah, Bob Zimmerman from Hibbing, Minnesota.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah, she's from Hibbing. I know Hibbing well. I shot some ducks over there. Their warmth kept me alive.
The duck's warmth actually saved my life because I passed out in the snow.
Hushed out.
I was outside of Hibbing, Minnesota.
This is Mike Lindell. Can you hear me?
Coming in loud and clear. So he's partnered with Angels Envy Bourbon co-founder Mark Bushala, and they've unveiled a new craft American whiskey under the name Heaven's Door.
Ah.
Not knocking on Heaven's Door, just Heaven's Door. He's designed the artwork. The bottle looks kind of badass,
That's
honestly.
a cool name, honestly.
Yeah. So the company's got a distillery and a brand experience center that'll open in this like 140-year-old church like next year. That kind of cool.
Yeah. It's
Here's
I
here's
don't
the
know
part.
if it's cool enough, man. Honestly.
Really?
I would think Dylan would put out a cooler
Wow.
brand than that.
All right.
I like the Heaven's Door. I'm not sure. I like the Halloween kind of style.
Yeah, oh boy.
Orange
Now
and
that you say
black.
Halloween, yeah.
Kind of simple, honestly.
What do you do? Whiskey is kind of an orange color.
Oh, you make it a little rougher.
Yeah. Yeah, it
It's
doesn't.
not rough enough to me.
Yeah, doesn't need Ferris wheels and.
Yeah, and you can
Stars.
cover the orange color, right, with a label of some sort.
Yeah, darker bottle perhaps. Use a darker glass.
There's a lot of ways you could go.
Here's where, like, I love Bob Dylan. He wrote Idiot Wind, and to me, it's just like he's a lyrical genius. So I give him great, latitude for decision making. But when he makes a comment like, we both wanted to create a collection of American whiskeys that, in their own way, tells a story. Been traveling for decades. I've been able to try some of the best spirits in the world of whiskey has to offer. This is great whiskey. I'm happy to be partnering with Mark and our entire team as we bring Heaven's Door to the public.
Come on, Bobbert. This is a mass-produced whiskey. This is,
Yes, thank you.
I mean,
It's money.
Totally.
I think
It
Bob Dylan quit drinking in 1986.
doesn't tell a story. It's
Yeah.
a fucking whiskey, and you probably can't distinguish it from 4 other whiskeys.
Yes. what he's done is he's seen the rappers turn into billionaires in a year. He's seen George Clooney turn into a billionaire with tequila or whatever, and it's like, shit. All right, throw my name on one. Whatever. Let's see what happens. So this whole thing about if you just wanted to bring it to the people, public, it's special, tell a story. No, Bob, you want to turn into a billionaire. It's okay. So they're releasing those 3 that you saw in the bottles there. A Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey. Sounds good to me. Which is aged for 6.5 years. A double barrel whiskey. And a straight rye whiskey. Limited release 10-year-old Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey will debut in the fall.
This will be really different than Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, etc.
Right, Bullet.
Dude, this is bullshit to me. By the way, I didn't know this, Mike, but so this was from Rolling Stone. Apparently, he stopped drinking in 1994. I think it's bullshit if you're gonna bring out like Trump. Same thing with Trump to have
vodka.
It's like if you're gonna make a liquor, you don't have to be a
We
drunk.
make the best wine.
Dude, you've never had a sip of wine. How do you know?
You don't have to be a drunk, but you should at least be able to say that you've sipped the thing that you just said was awesome. How does he even know?
That's a good point.
I
It's
smelled
valid.
it.
It's
Yeah.
valid.
But they're just looking at money. So it'll go like a fifth of Jack is probably what, $28, $27. His is going to be, they say the retail price is like $50 to $80, and it's going to be in select markets at first, and then we'll see where it goes after that.
Putting a premium on it.
I
Gotta
got
be
to admit,
good.
I kind of want to try it just because it's Bob Dylan's whiskey.
Sure.
I don't know why, but I do. So we'll see. Why don't we take a quick break? And I'm sorry, man. I've compiled a handful of stories here, Jay, and I'm really getting frustrated with nude people.
I would think that's a hard thing to get frustrated with. I mean, nude people are
But they're not staying in their lane. They're branching out and they're wanting more. And
these gross nude people.
of course,
Okay,
of
yeah.
course, they're never models that want to be nude. It's always fatzos. And
What are we talking about? Like just
Well-
nude in public, like various stories about
Yeah.
assholes being nude in public when they shouldn't be.
yes, it's along those lines. I'll fill you in. I've got a couple stories to run by.
Masturbation, no doubt, is involved.
Maybe. No. It's more just about being nude.
Interesting.
Yeah, do that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. And jump back into stories here in a second. Jay, have you been watching Netflix at all lately? Have you caught anything good there? Or I know you were doing Hulu for a while.
Yeah, I
HBO Go, but
I watched a Bin Laden thing the other day, but it was really old. I don't remember if that was Netflix or HBO or what it was. But why are you specifically asking?
well,
Netflix?
because there's a newish, I think it came out a week or two ago, documentary that E and I have both seen, and I'll wait for you to watch it before we discuss it. If you're interested, it's called Rachel, and it's about Rachel Dolezal.
No thanks.
No.
You can go ahead and discuss it.
Okay. Well, it's I don't know. E was asking me today because he watched it. And he was like, "What did you think?"
The chick who identifies as black.
Yeah.
In fact, she actually held a position at the NCAA.
Yes, in Washington, one of the Seattle area chapters was like the president of the NCAA there, and kind of had that fake tan thing going and the braided hair. But when the story blasted out and it was like you saw pictures of this girl with just like the blondest hair, the bluest eyes.
Misappropriation.
Oh yeah. And wasn't there something too like
Dude, she's taking it to her grave. She's just like, no, I'm black. I'm black.
Yeah. It's a whole
Absolutely.
trans. They're fitting this into the trans category.
Yeah.
Like I am what I am.
She's trying to anyway.
Yeah.
Biology means nothing.
Right. So we get spray tan and some curls in our hair, and we're black. But so there's this big documentary on her and her kids. I felt bad for her kids. She's got a black boyfriend, and the kids are look absolutely African American, and they're 13 and 16, or one kid's going to college and the other's in high school or something, and they're just like,
And now they have to be told they're white. Fuck.
right, yes. And it's like, okay, Mom, did you have to tweet that? Now there's like 8 million people shitting on you and talking to me about it in school, and it's like, can you fucking get out of your own way for these kids' sake? I mean, can you not see the problems you're causing for your own children? And so it was leading up to her book. Remember, she was writing a book. And
I don't have an independent recollection of that, but I will take that.
Are you
as
gonna let
fact.
him know how many were sold?
Well,
Mike?
yeah, I was gonna the punchline of this, but she's on the Today Show. I mean, when you're doing press like that, you're reaching loads of people. You know what I mean? And so they end it with, books released. She's worked on it for a couple of years, does all the interview circuits, and she sold 546 copies.
Oh, shit.
Dude, we could sell 546 copies if we wrote a book. You know what I mean?
Man. Oh my God.
Like black people want. It sounds like some of them want to like welcome her, sort of, but they just
Only
can't.
546 of them.
Yeah, and white people are just like, fuck off. You're a white girl. Shut up. Get out of here. And she's living in this shithole. She's driving a shitty car. People fuck with her, and so there's opportunity to feel bad for her, and you can definitely
Well, that's what I
sympathize
was
with
asking.
her kids. But I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't feel bad for her. I was like, I'm sorry. You keep stepping in this shit and trying to force this weird fucking, I'm black angle. And it's
Not
like,
even feeling empathy from the standpoint of, okay, she's a little bit mentally ill. Couldn't even feel that.
that's as close as I could get.
Right.
Honestly, that was as close as I could get. Like, this is a sick individual. Like, why would you tweet this out and the onslaught that's coming? Like, why are you doing that? Why are you...
Well, it was like I tried to ask Mike, like when I watched it, I honestly watched it trying to like give her even the benefit of that. Like I actually just kept saying, "Okay, then explain it. Okay, then explain it. Explain what you mean why you're black."
He's
And
just
she just wouldn't
typical
do it.
truth seeker. She's
Absolutely.
always
She
after
just
the truth.
Absolutely.
She wouldn't do it
Wants
though.
to understand things.
She could not just like, you know what I'm saying, Mike? Like there was
Yeah.
so many chances where I feel like she could have at least explained why this is even what it was, and it was like all it was basically is that maybe her parents were abusive, maybe they weren't, and
Yeah.
then she helped adopt these two African American siblings that were
Kids that
adopted.
they'd
She
adopted.
found acceptance in that community and
Well, there's something to it's like
just got
if-
rolling, and then she was so far into it, the lie became so deep, she just had to keep rolling with it.
Well, it
or-
was funny because she
Maybe-
asked her on the one of the shows. They asked her like, "Well, what about some of these things that you said have now came out to be false?" And she's like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" It's It's like, oh, you mean the stuff where she claimed that there had been like discrimination at schools or letters that it turns out could have been fake or lies. Like, what do you mean?
There's all kinds of victim things where she's screaming, you know, oh, I'm getting a death threat in the mailbox. Oh, someone threw a banana peel on my driveway. And people are like, boy, that's happening a lot to this woman. Like, I'm black as shit, and that stuff doesn't just happen to me on a daily basis, you know? So is she helping this? Is she perpetuating this or lying about it to prove her blackness? And she's also, you know, abused and a victim. And so people don't
Feels
know
the plight of the black woman.
Yes. Well, and there was like stuff that would show up in her mailbox, you know, N-word this and death threats, blah, blah, blah. But then you look and it wasn't delivered by the U.S. mail. There's not a stamp there. So it was like, okay, someone put this here, but it wasn't sent through. So there's all kinds of things like that. The other thing that I didn't realize that was kind of troubling, it's like, okay, if you grew up, you know, as someone who, you know, lived around, you know, black people, that culture your whole life, and these are your friends, this is how you identify, you dress this way, you know, your upbringing is what did this, but hers, it was like she was a white girl all these years and everything, and then like in the last handful of years, it turned into like, now I'm getting a weave, and now I'm getting this fucking darker skin, and now I'm claiming to be black, and now I'm claiming this guy is my date. It's like, that doesn't happen to a 25-year-old or 30-year-old. You know what I mean?
All of a sudden, she has her hands in setting tournament brackets. I don't get it. It's amazing the road she traveled so quickly. So was it she started to make this turn once she got hooked up with like a black guy, or did she intentionally?
They don't really explain that, do
they? This sounds like a shit documentary.
I know.
I think she doesn't have an answer. That's the problem. I think they gave her a chance to explain that answer, and that she doesn't. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it was weird. It stuck out to me. It's like, oh shit, I thought you were like identifying when you were 6 with this, you know, and it's like you started literally like putting on darker makeup and fucking doing your hair differently as an adult, and now we're just trying to like slide into the group like, oh, I've been here the whole time. What's going on? How's everybody doing? How you doing and shit?
Although it sounds like she wouldn't even got in trouble. Doesn't it sound like she wouldn't have even got in trouble if there wasn't there was her original family that she tries to break away from that had the adopted black children. There was like one of those daughters is trying to say there's sexual assault from a brother in the family, and Rachel is on her side, and it sounds like she's going to basically be the thing that's going to get people to think like, yes, I think this sexual abuse happened. So the family hires a private investigator to go get in Rachel's shit, and that's where all the black shit comes out, and that's where she kind of starts to get screwed. Like,
did you realize your daughter is claiming to be black?
Like,
now?
I think that
video of her on the street being confronted by the reporter, who got like a tip or something, and was like, is hearing stuff like, this shows a victim. She's not really black, and he's like, remember you'll remember that video. She's standing there, and he's just like with a microphone, and he's just like, so, are you African American? And she's like, what do you mean? And it's like, nah, that's an answerable question. That really is an answerable question. You could probably find that clip of her. It's short, but then it's just like,
suggests that it's not
I gotta
mental
get out
illness. It's complete manipulation. You know, conscious manipulation.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African American man.
That's a very. I mean, I don't know what you're
It's triggering.
implying.
Very
Are you
triggering.
African American?
tough question to ask, to be fair.
Ooh.
I don't understand the question of. I did tell you that yes, that's my dad, and he was unable
Look
to
at the
come in
time.
January.
Whew, I gotta get out
Are
of here.
your parents?
I'm
Are they
not-
white?
Ooh, your parents white. I gotta go.
That is
Told
a
you I only had a
tough
second. It's a tough question. That's what started everything. That's what blew everything up.
But it's funny because if she wouldn't have been a part of this lawsuit, she probably would have just gotten away with it.
If she didn't try too hard to prove her blackness and like put it in everyone's face, this reporter wouldn't have dug. She'd probably still be running the NCAA
Setting
bracket
brackets as we
tournament.
speak.
Yeah, exactly. All right, nude people.
Yeah.
There's a couple that got some shit. They got a note on their door. This is Karen Stone and her husband Jay. Jay's a DJ and Karen whatever. But they get this note on their door that's from their neighbors saying to close the blinds. Please close your blinds when getting dressed or undressed. Or we're tired of seeing your big bum, your big boobs, and your little willy. Shove the guy's
From
dick.
Britain, huh?
Yeah.
Daily Mail story, no doubt.
Yeah, and so they put a note up saying, stop looking at our windows, you peeping Tom. This and that.
Specifically, me willy.
Yeah. And they're joking about that too. Like, no, I'm not going to be known as a DJ. I'm going to be known as the guy with a little willy. His wife's laughing about it, which I don't think is funny. I don't think it's funny. You don't ever, it's just not a laughing matter. Whether he's got a little willy or not, you don't want your wife laughing about that,
Right.
So anyway, there's that nude story. And then these fucking assholes, this Paris gallery last week has an opening, and it's like, oh yeah, come see the art. We're having nudist day, so you guys can come here and feel free and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, is this necessary? On any level, is this necessary?
Oh, nudist day, like you can get in free and come peruse our art.
Yeah. Like that girl on the left should be arrested. You know what I mean? Like that ass should not be displayed in public. That should be an arrestable offense.
Yeah, that's...
Right?
It's in Paris, you said, yeah.
The one on the right, though, she needs to hang out with the girl on the left as much as she can,
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It just comes
Stark
off.
difference, but if you put her up against... well, I'm not going to judge, Mike.
Yeah, I am. And that's gross. I guess I just don't know, like, what is the need for this? Why is this necessary that it's like, no, we feel strongly about this. We need to walk nude through the park. And I'm no prude, but it just seems like you'd be uncomfortable. Yeah,
Dude, but it's got to be something about, like, conquering that. Like, that's the ultimate embarrassment, right? I mean, putting yourself out there, like, showing the world just everything and being comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And so that's got to be tremendously freeing, I guess. Like, that's what they're after, this feeling like, you know what? I legitimately don't care what anyone thinks. I'm just nude.
Okay.
And it's an exercise in that, I think. And they're getting that emotion of, wow, I conquered fear. Nobody can say anything about me that fucking bothers me.
Yeah.
I am out here.
That's got to be part of it. I can't get over the hump. Like, with women, I would believe that. It's natural, man. I just love it. And I'm out here dancing, look at Moonbeam go. But for guys, it's like, guys want to bang chicks. And I will forever feel like there's an angle being worked. You know what I mean? Like, my dick's out, your vagina's out. I'm a hug away from
That may
you know what I
very
mean?
well be true, Mike.
The naturist way of life is to be naked. Culture is part of our daily life, and this is a special opportunity. Put some pants on, dick face. Even if they're skimpy, I don't care.
What did Halsey tell us about this back in the day? Her and her
Halsey.
double Ds.
Those giant tits.
Giant titties.
Absolute giant tits. Loved it.
Sky dove with giant titties just flapping in the breeze.
Yes. They think they're blasting down barriers and, blah, 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 and cracking taboos and all that stuff. And it's like, it just doesn't look comfortable to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. I'm seeing these things pop up all the time. It's like, stay in your colony.
It's weird. It's weird for sure.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Gonna
find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Jesus. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug. Now's the time. Contact Realtor Doug Steinert. Spring is the perfect time to list your current home and go looking for your dream home. Winter's over and real estate is moving. Contact Douglas today, 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man, easy to work with, and a great friend of the show. Call Douglas today, 248-765-1781.
Want to watch a quick video of something that happened on Family Feud?
Sure.
I have not seen this. Isis did and brought it to the table, so if you don't like it, blame him.
Okay.
I guess, let's see, what the question, they ask a question, everyone knows Family Feud, ask a question, top 6 answers on the board.
Sure.
You don't want those 3 X's. So, what was the question?
If you want it just in the video, it might be just
Okay.
easier to...
All right. Go ahead and play it, E.
On the board, what might a man do if his ex-wife was telling everyone that he has a teeny weenie?
Pause.
Sue him.
Oh,
Pause it. What would your answer be to this, Jay?
What might a man do if
His ex-wife is
Oh.
telling people he's got a teeny weenie.
X? What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
Keep drawing attention to it. And
I don't think you can tell Steve Harvey, though, like, what are you going to do? I don't think that's a proper answer for the feud.
oh, you have to give a substantive answer.
Yeah.
I
In the
guess
form of a question.
Yeah, I would issue a cease and desist.
Would you? All right. Now you're talking. You're going with your background. You're going
legal, yeah,
law.
that's
Going
right.
law. What would I do if it's a teeny weeny? I'd probably say she's got a huge vagina, just gaping.
The Larry
vagina.
David
Yeah,
defense.
she's misjudged it.
Yeah.
It's not that I have a teeny weeny. She's just cavernous.
Proportionately speaking, her butthole and vagina are both massive.
The reason she can't
Huge.
feel my panus is not
Yeah.
because it's teeny weeny, but rather the
Yeah.
cavernous nature.
Yes. Why do you think I left her? I could not deal with the gaping, massive hole that was her vagina.
Just
So,
gaping. It
fuck her.
gaped.
That's my final answer, Steve. Gaping vagine. Number one answer. All right, let's see what these guys answered.
Sue him.
So that guy said sue him.
I didn't understand the suing him part. But
No one liked that.
Oh, you know what she's going to do?
Whoa, give
Oh,
a
I'm
guy,
sorry.
guy a chance, man.
Divorce.
They're already divorced. Her ex-wife.
I don't think anyone understood this question.
Yeah.
Max.
Kill her.
Max.
Max going bigly.
Max gonna shut this down. Now, this little statement about me goes no further today. You're dead. Killer.
Dude,
What's Max, like 16,
yeah.
17?
I killed a bitch, man. Killed
That's
a bitch.
awesome, man.
Isn't that hilarious? That's Tooch's boy, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey refused to work with anyone else in the beat in L.A.
Really?
Except Tooch. Tooch is my boy. Where's Tooch, man? I need Tooch on it. If I'm going to be selling Teddy Grahams and shit, I need Tooch in the office now.
The doctor.
Bring the doctor in. I need someone that knows what the fuck they doing.
Hamlin Pubs, gentlemen, they're inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, their drinks, and their atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. Don't forget, hashtag Drink Hamlin. If you're out at Hamlin drinking, eating, whatever, hanging out with your girl, send us a picture of yourself and your girl and or your receipt. Hashtag it Drink Hamlin, and you will be entered into a drawing for valuable prizes.
Very good. Before we get to email, which we'll do in a second here, Jay, I wanted to pop into India really quick. They've had some troubling stories of late.
Are the monkey gods upset again?
Well, what is the thing that they cannot get right about rape? Like, why is rape just like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it exists. The nature, the notion that you can't just hammer any chick anytime you want just is foreign to them.
But it's just getting... some of these stories, it's like, it's life in prison, dog, without the chance of parole. I mean,
really violent shit. It's people that are outside their caste system, right?
Yeah.
They've got really rigid societal systems, and if you're stepping outside, if you're a chick who's in the wrong area or something, then
the wrong village, camp
then
or something.
you deserve to be banged with a crowbar.
Right, and then lit on fire.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
obviously, light on fire afterwards.
Forgot about that. Sorry.
I mean, Art, our friend, still owes me $5, by the way, Art Case.
Right.
You know, I mean, he raped and lit on fire. What was it? His girlfriend and her mom.
I believe so.
And I don't think he's getting out anytime soon. I think that's a done deal for
he's
him.
He's in.
The case is closed. No pun intended. 17-year-old girl is fighting for her life. She's raped. That wasn't enough. She's then doused with kerosene and lit on fire. 70% of her body is burned. So there's a 19-year-old living in the neighborhood there, and he's been arrested. Police believe there's a chance that she will survive. So one of the village chiefs made a ruling against this kid over the gang rape murder of a 16-year-old in the same area. And Danu Bayan, the main suspect in this death and blah, 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 was fucking pissed at the sentence they handed him.
Yeah.
And took it out on this other girl. And so you're like, whoa, what was the sentence? You know what I mean?
Must have been harsh, right?
Well, of course. He became enraged after the local village council ordered him to do 100 sit-ups and pay $550 in fines for the rape.
Shit.
Murder. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can see why he'd be mad. Dude, I don't know if I could do 100. Honestly, 100 sit-ups, like once? Like, and I do 10 a day for the next 10 days? I don't know that I could bang out 100 sit-ups.
Gonna be sore.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I would definitely be sore. So they were so pissed about this. Him and his buddies attacked the girl's parents before setting their house on fire with a girl inside.
Oh my
Sit-ups,
God.
I can't get over it.
Yeah. The police inspector, General Shambu Thakar, said, look, we're on the case. We promised the family that the guilty won't be spared. And so we've got the chief minister, Raghubar Das. He's called for absolute stringent punishment. The bullshit, the buck stops here, and the games are over. And so in a barbaric case like this, he announced compensation of $1,500 for the victim's family would be in order. And it's like, he is not going to want to hear that he's going to owe $1,500 to this family in compensation, you know?
That's shocking, man.
Isn't that
The
troubling?
lack of human rights.
I believe they do have new laws on the books, though, in India where you can get the death penalty for child rape. I don't know if they'll apply that sentence, but I did, because there's so many people that are like pitchforks and torches in hand, furious pissed over the last few years, marching the streets. Like, this has to be dealt with.
Right.
Stop taking our 14-year-olds and gang raping them and then, giving us $200. It ain't cool. I don't want to give a shit about you doing sit-ups. You got ripped abs, dude. Stop fucking our children.
Yeah, that's only going to help. The ripped abs aren't going to hurt them.
God, these guys with just fucking 8-packs. They got that V that goes into their dick ab, that weird ab down there, because they're doing so many fucking crunches and sit-ups.
From their punishments.
Yeah.
Hey, affiliate links. You'll see them above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click away, shop away. It doesn't cost any more. Key is that you click through our links. Of course, you'll see Amazon and Group on there. Also, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com
Yes.
for all your betting-related needs. And again, said it many times, we'll say it again. They have tons of different products, betting-related products at their website, MyPillow.com. Check them out.
Dog beds, dude, are sweet.
Use TDC code for the very best discount.
And don't forget my sheets from Giza.
Giza. It's
Yes.
the best cotton out there, Giza.
Greatest cotton in the world. I bought it all.
This is Mike Lindell. Can you hear me?
How we doing for...
You do have some email. Mike, before I get to email proper.
Oh, for the love of fuck.
Well, the weather turns and we start to receive post.
Oh, we're getting into postseason.
People start to travel,
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah, for writing in from Graceland. Greetings from Graceland. Thanks for keeping me company on my drive. Bye, B-U-I. Winky face, Sarah. Here's some Elvis facts. Some of these are stunning.
Love them.
Did you know Elvis recorded over 600 songs? That's amazing, right?
Sure. He wrote one of them.
And while he collaborated on several of them, he never solely wrote any of them.
Yeah.
He won 3 Grammy Awards for his music, but none of them were for his rock music. All 3 awards were for his gospel music.
You telling me he didn't pen You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog?
Ain't nothing but a hound dog. Elvis knew all the lines.
Hoots!
If I find or
He wrote
hear
this.
the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of
The roots!
Thank you very much.
Elvis knew all the lines to the speech scene in the George C. Scott movie Patton, and would often recite it. Elvis's voice range was over 8 octaves.
What?
Elvis gets his first guitar in 1946. Do you believe that? 8
No,
octaves?
dude. No. I thought Jeff Tate had a 5-octave range, which was amazing. Queensryche's lead singer.
It cost $12.95 his first guitar at Tupelo
Sears and
Hardware store.
Roebuck. Seems like everybody got a Sears and Roebuck.
Right. Jack White, all those guys. Out of all the movies he did, his favorite was King Creole.
King Creole?
He raised over $65,000 toward the building of the USS Arizona Memorial at Pearl Harbor with a benefit concert in Hawaii.
I was going to say he loved the Hawaii stuff. He loved
Yeah.
doing movies in Hawaii and playing there.
Yeah, he did a lot there.
Yeah.
In August 1956, Elvis began shooting his first movie, Love Me Tender. Elvis performed his last concert on June 26, 1977 at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis.
Linda, I'm only going to ask once. Get out of the room. Puts fucking 3 bullet holes in the TV because I don't like the singer that's on my screen right now. Linda, I'm going to need you to get out of the room. Hey, Linda, tell the guys to bring a new TV upstairs. This one's broke. This one's broke.
Tim writes in, greetings, has 3 Spawn, Texas Toast Gone, and Banger of Dawn. I recently traveled to Greenville, South Carolina, and made a point of purchasing a postcard from one of the many shops that adorn the main thoroughfare in their quaint downtown area. As I was perusing the plentiful options of post, I came across, gross, the card that I've sent you. I figured it was the perfect postcard since it will not only add to the collection, but it also gives Eric 6 options of historical figures to research for this day in history. Now, it is very interesting because adorning this postcard are 6 different statues.
All right.
Several of which I don't recognize the names.
No,
there's
me either.
Shoeless Joe, right?
I know that one, and Max Heller.
These are all allegedly men who are important at one point to Greenville, South Carolina.
I would argue they're not. I mean, if we don't know them and they're statuified.
But I'm saying they're important to Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
So maybe they do have some interesting history. I don't know. But Isis, you'll have to check these guys out. Dr. Towns, General Green, Max Heller, Vandry McBee, Joel Poinsett, and Shoeless Joe. All out of Greenville, South Carolina. When I was standing in line, adds Tim, to pay for said postcard, I noticed a small display of various stickers, including the Appalachian Trail decal that I have included in this envelope. This sticker is for Isis. Damn it, I wanted this.
No, you can keep that.
Okay,
Yep.
I won't read on that. I think it'll look nice next to the Huey Lewis bumper sticker that it is already on Mr. and Mrs. Fady's car. Plus, it is Autism Awareness Month, and I don't know what else to buy the son of a bitch as a gift in honor of his special month. Thanks for a great show, Tim.
can
That's
buy
a
me
nice.
cash.
Isn't that nice?
It is. You should put that on your new truck, Jay, and people will at least think you've been there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like
You know.
putting stuff up that suggests I've been somewhere I haven't. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the sticker. I'd gladly throw it up here.
You haven't earned it yet. You haven't earned the sticker,
Right.
is what you're saying.
Someday,
Okay.
someday.
Fair
And
enough.
this is probably a good time, by the way, to thank everybody for the eclectic mix of things that we've received via the post office recently, including the Bean Boozled jelly beans.
I'm done with that gift, dude.
Thank you to Melissa, who sent these after listening to the show, to how Sweet Pie fooled Old Man Jay into eating toothpaste-laced Oreos. I wondered if the boys, I really just mean E, ever played Bean Boozled. You're aware of these, Mike?
Oh, my
We already
God.
did this, didn't we?
Yeah, I think years ago somebody sent it. But, dude, I think they have some dead fish. I don't remember.
Yeah, they've always got new ones. Remember the story when
Moldy cheese, lawn clippings.
the story was that
Spoiled milk.
these came out with Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movie at first. And remember the story in our old studio, it was like Drew and Mike and Mark and I would go in there and we'd record interviews after the show, right? And we had a box of these sitting here and they were gross as shit. And Drew just walked in and just sat down and just started eating handfuls of them and never flinched. And Mark and I were just like, what the fuck is with this? This is
Well,
hilarious.
some of them are decent.
I know, but some of them are booger and grass. You
So
know?
it was just a mix of them.
And he's just
grabbing
eating them and
handfuls.
just talking, and it was like, this is hilarious. But every kid, you know, at Christmas and stuff, and it's like, oh, the nephew got me this game and now wants to play with me.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to spit it out immediately,
Yeah.
and they don't want me to. And it's like, fuck you, dude. I don't want to eat toothpaste any more than you do. Why do you
Dog
get to
food,
spit it out right away?
etc.
You know?
Yeah. Also, an emailer sent, I think it was Brian, sent me a story concerning toothpaste Oreos.
Oh, I
Apparently,
saw
some
that.
asshole is facing prison time for feeding a homeless man toothpaste-filled Oreos.
Yeah.
Some YouTuber.
Yes.
Like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
And the guy got sick and all this stuff, so he's facing jail time. I told the tiny girl that. Tiny girl!
Oh, no.
I was like, look, this
Just
guy.
cry?
She's like, wait, what? She did that. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, tiny girl. I'm not going to press
Report
charges.
you. It's poisonous. If you ingest.
I know, too much.
Yeah, it can be poisonous.
Also, thank you to whoever is doing this. They've signed me up for postcards that are obviously, congratulations after the surgery. You should be noticing substantial growth. Please use the reference chart and bring it to our next appointment. And it's about getting a dick enlargement.
That's about penis enlargement.
Blow Up Dolls Incorporated. So the post office is probably wondering what the hell is going on here.
They think you have a tiny dick and you're into blow up
Anal
dolls.
Leakage Research Center. I've got a whole smattering of these things. And
Yeah,
then also,
I play a similar game whenever whenever I get my hair cut, and Christina comes over here, I usually write a check, and in that, memo, it's like for, haircut, house cleaning, whatever. Mine is always for some absurdly horrible sexual thing,
Yeah.
like, urinating on me or some horrible blowjob thing. I don't know, but I just love the idea that someone is going to have to deposit this check,
Right.
and someone is going to have to read that memo. You know what I mean?
I think that's the joke of it. We also received king size. I don't know if and
for you.
cooking light. I think those
Both
are
for you.
probably directed at you.
Right.
Yeah. Also, a shirt concerning grammar. Got that. Thank you, Michael. Also, regarding grammar, John writes in with a grievance of sorts. It's too short to put the clock to.
Okay.
You'll get the point very quickly. Hopefully this isn't stolen, says John. but I do have a Facebook post from a year ago. I've been seeing it again and again, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, here we go. Here's his grievance. I seen it versus I have seen it or saw it.
It's my biggest one. I hate that
I
one.
seen that show the other day. Arg! I saw that show the other day. English motherfucker, do you speak it? Goodbye, B-U-I, John. That's a tough one, the scene.
Seen it is...
That's a
look,
trigger.
I don't like to judge people, but if you want to be just known as trash, I seen it does it. You know what I mean? Like that.
I agree with you, dude. And I try not to do that.
I know.
I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but that is
You
one.
can't with that one.
Boy.
Someone says I ain't doing shit. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
I ain't. I'm fine. But I seen it. Fuck.
Can't get over it.
No, can't do it. Sorry. I don't like judging people. You do you, but I seen it doesn't. Ugh.
All right, here is a grievance that I am going to put the clock to. Mike, this may be a little bit upsetting, but
oh, wonderful.
We'll go. Listener Jen writes in. Hello, boys. The grievance has found me. I faithfully and endearingly listen to this wonderfully entertaining podcast. The show brings me daily joy aside from one annoying detail. For some reason, they have a child reading the intro and outro. Is that a word, outro? One of the reasons I love the show has to do with its R-rated, hilarious content, and an 8-year-old girl introducing it all seems wildly inappropriate. Who is this little girl? Why did you hire her? Other than that, love the show, and I'm so thankful that it makes me laugh every day. Yours, listener Jen.
Jealous. Is she talking about like the intro with Beth? Is that what she means?
I think so.
Oh boy.
Is it time to change the intro and outro? You changed the middle of the show music.
Yeah, but we were illegally stealing music. Can become a problem eventually. Eminem might have a problem with that. 8 Mile Music might have a problem. So, yeah.
It's time to freshen it up. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, you could lose it completely. You just take it out.
I agree.
I mean, honestly, you could just be like, "Hey, we're here. Starting the show today."
I've suggested that. I know you have considered it. You've suggested it at various times. Do we go this route? I think we should.
Yeah.
I think we should.
I think it's not that big of a headache. People just go 15, 15, 15, and they're into the show.
I don't think you want to train people to be able to go 15 during your show.
Well, they're not listening to the outro either. You know, you get there and...
Why is it there? I know.
You know, I mean...
Ends it. It
it's
makes
just
a clean thing. I get it.
It's you know, it's my fancy way of, I know how to be a producer.
Wasn't there a time where, well, first of all, if you're a long-time listener, you'll remember the Space Odyssey. And that fucker, holy shit, did that go on and on and on, right? But that was a reason you were kind of getting revved up, right?
Yeah, well, that was, we were live, and it was like, I don't know, because I started cutting that out of the post early on. But it would play for the live thing, and it was like while we were getting shit ready, and what was it? The
2001
Space Odyssey, yeah. Shit, I forgot about that.
The
but I started
version?
Yes. But then I started cutting that out of the post early.
I wonder how people would feel if we put it to a Twitter poll or something. Like, do you just want us to cut the intro? Fucking cut to the chase?
It's not, they've all heard it. It's not like they haven't heard it. I don't think it hurts anything, but I don't think they're terribly necessary. It's just, dude, you got to remember when this all started, like, so many people like me coming from my background just were so programmed of how you do a radio show professionally, and it was really hard to get away from some of those things that you just did all the time. And so looking at it now, my view has changed dramatically on, I understand fully what the differences in a radio show and a podcast are now. And so it's not that I don't like the intro. I don't think anything, but it's like, is it necessary? No, of course not. You don't need any of that stuff.
As I've listened to more and more podcasts, I'm struck by the shortness of just, you know, a few musical notes, and then they're in, and they're going. Yep. And I appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some things with
I mean, even the fact that we take a break is different, though. So you sort of have to look at it like all right, we've got an intro and an outro to a break, then an intro back from the break, outro to the show. It's sort of like there's symmetry there. I like symmetry. But maybe we don't even need a break, Mike.
But you do have commercials to play.
Yeah, you can play a commercial. You go, hey, now a message from our fine folks.
I suppose you could. See, I don't mind those middle ones, and I don't mind the out of the show. The out of the show, it's just like people know as soon as you go, we'll save the rest for tomorrow. People are gone. As soon as they start hearing you say, we'll save the rest, most of them are gone.
As soon as
Right.
they hear you go, do we have any email, Jay?
Yeah. No, I think they listen to email, but like
I
at
see
this
your
point, you're about to say it, and they're fucking like, oh, it's over. Boom. Out. They don't need to hear us go, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Always appreciate it. Like all that horse shit, they don't need, you know.
Hope you come back again.
They would be surprised, those people, that every once in a while something happens.
Oh, we
and-
throw in nuggets, don't we?
Yeah, or E says something and
Little
it's like,
Easter
you
eggs.
mother, you know, and shit
It
flies
might go
off
on
the
another
handle.
10 minutes.
Oh, sometimes.
Sometimes they miss the best part of the show.
Yeah,
Those
absolutely.
last minutes.
It's when we give all the prizes away, too, in cash.
I don't know, man. I think we should think about that. Adjusting the intro.
Look at Jay. Look at Director Jay over here, E.
I mean, I would go with a shorter one probably, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I could understand having some
No,
kind
there's
of
like
music,
drops
but-
in there and you and
Yeah.
like, you know.
Bona
I mean,
fide.
there's a whole...
It's bona fide.
It is. No, there's no doubt there's an argument for that. We've known that for a couple of years.
Well,
I
actually,
just-
your argument was that there was a child was doing it, not whether we should have the intro.
Yeah, I don't
or
know.
not.
I like having Beth do that. It's
Here
so
are your hosts, Mike
Yeah.
and Jay.
I like that, and I purposely did that because
No
it was very.
FCC regulations. Like
Yeah.
everybody knows that, Mike.
I know, but 4 years ago,
I
did
know.
they?
But that's what I'm saying.
And the
Like,
reason
is-
I use
is there a
Beth-
way forward
Sure.
that makes sense at this point?
Sure.
We sound dated, Mike.
Maybe.
Referencing
we can
the
change
FCC.
it. Relax. But the reason I used Beth was because it was very cliche in radio to use the big ballsy guy. Welcome, here, your host, Mike and Jay. And it was like, I want to go as fuck all away from that as I can. So it was like, I'm going to have Beth do it. That's why that was chosen. So
Save the rest for tomorrow.
people are gone.
Gone.
They're not
Gone.
hearing a word of this
Nope,
right now.
it's done.
Fucking gone. Fuck them. Good. I don't care. I don't need them listening to the last 20. Fuck them. They want to fucking bail early
Fuck
on
those
us.
listeners.
Whatever, dude. See ya, fuck face. I don't care. For those that are still here listening, why? I don't know why.
Me
but
and E. I'm not. Oh,
Jay's taking his
I'm done,
headphones
done.
off. He's gone. All right. Thanks, everybody. We do actually appreciate you listening to the very end. So thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.